Hare Krishna. Radhe Radhe Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir, Gopinath Bhavan, Shri Vrindavan Dham. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Gauriya Guruvarga ki jai, Patit Pavana Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai, Radha Vinu Bihari Ju ki jai, Radha Gopinath Ju ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Please forgive me for the delay. I did send out an instantaneous apology for it in advance, but there was a good reason for it. So if you want to know, we can discuss it, but it is not anything to do with bhakti. It's something more to do with Uttar Pradesh. But for all of those of you who are from India, you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. So everything is good. So we will begin with Mangalacharan. Mangalacharan is the auspicious invocation calling for the presence, the grace, the mercy, the sidelong glances of our beloved Srila Gurudev, our beloved Srila Prabhupada, our Rupanuga Gauriya Guruvarga, Patit Pavan, Shri Nityananda Prabhu, Prem Purushottam Shachinandan Gaura Hari, going all the way back to the original Guru. Who is the original Guru? Who is Krishna himself, and his Guru of Prem, Vrishabhanu Nandini, Srimati Radha Thakurani. As Krishna states, and you can find it in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Radhikar Prema Guru Ami Shishyanata Sada Amanana Nritye Nachaya Udbhata. Radhika is my Guru of Prem, and I am simply her dancing pupil. She makes me dance various novel dances according to her tune. So you can find Mangalacharan on page 1 of this beautiful bhajan treasure trove, Sri Gaudiya Giti Gucha, starting with Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam. I think maybe I can move the camera in just a little bit. Just forward this way, the whole thing. More. There, okay. As long as Gurudev's still in there, right? Okay, thank you. You can use this for now. Do you have Mangalachara?
I did bring it, but I know it's...
Mandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavakshta Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namah Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Tinamine Shri Krishna Leela Katane Sudaksham Audarya Madhurya Gunaishcha Yuktam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tam Shirashan Namami Tridandinam Bhakta Shiromanim Cha Shri Krishna Padabjunatayaka Hriddhi Chaitanya Leelamrita Sarasaram Narayanam Tam Satatam Prapadye Namahum Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namahum Vishnupadaya Gaurapreshthaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Itti Namine Atimardya Charitraya Swashritanancha Paline Jivadukhe Sadartaya Shri Nama Premadayine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namah Madhurya Jvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudhapa Siddhanta Tvantaharine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambhara Sambodhe Padam Bujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchiranandanamine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugabbarayate Gauravirbhava Bhume Stvang Nirdeshtasya Janapriya Vaishnava Sarva Bhoma Shri Jaganathayate Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jayatang Surato Pangur Mama Mandam Matirgati Matsarvasva Padambojo Radha Madana Mohano Divyat Vrindaranya Kalpadrumala Srimad Ratnagara Singhasanastho Shri Shri Radha Shri Lagovinda Devo Preshthali Sevyamano Smarami Shri Mandra Sarasarambhi Vangshivatattatastitaha Karshan Venu Swanar Gopir Gopinatha Shri Estunaha Vrindaye Tulasi Devyai Priyayai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Thank you. So now we will call out for the mercy of Shri Gurudev. We will sing all together since time is very short. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma by Srila Narottam Das Thakur. That bhajan is not only for singing when we're doing Guru Puja. If you see the meaning of that bhajan, it is the mood of a disciple praying to Shri Guru. And it is so beneficial, so beautiful, and so powerful. It is not only for Srila Prabhupada in the temple. It is actually from Narottam Das Thakur to his Guru. But all Vaishnavas can utilize this same bhajan, praying for the mercy of their own transcendental Gurudevs. So that is page 28 in our Sri Gaudiya Niti Gucha. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma. When I said own transcendental Gurudevs, I meant all those who are pure devotees, and meaning our Guru, Diksha Guru and Shiksha Gurus. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Satma Bandhu Savadhan Mate Kahar Prasade Bhai E Bhavaturiya Jai Krishna Prapti Hoi Jaha Hoi Te Chitte te koriya aikya arna kori humane asha Shri Guru charane rati aise uttamagati je prasade pure sarva asha चक्षुदान दिलो जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते वेदे गाय जहाँ रचरितो श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनार बंधु लोकनाथ लोके जीवन आहा प्रभु Deho more padachaya Ruva padelo ilusharana Ebe jashu kushu tribhuvana Gurudev patita pavana Prabhupada patita pavana Oha ha Prabhu Guru Doya Deho more padachaya Ha ha Prabhu Guru Doya Deho more padachaya Gurudeva Jai Gurudeva Gurudeva Jai Gurudeva Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Guru Parampara Guru Parampara Parampara Guru Parampara Srila Gurudev ki Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki Jai Shri Guru Parampara ki Jai. Now we will call for the mercy of Vaishnavas. O He Vaishnava Thakur. By Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur, page 39 in our Sri Gaudiya Iti Ucha. And Radhe Radhe to Fuleshwari Devidasi, Shashikala Devidasi, Savitri Chaprala, Bharat Bhushan, and all the rest of you. What is your name?
Chaitanya Sundari.
Chaitanya Sundari and Disha and Jai Chaitanya. Hari Bolo. So page 39, O He Vaishnava Thakur. All together. O He Vaishnava Thakur, Doya Sagar He Dase Karuna Kori, Diya Pada Chayo Shodho He Amari, Tomar Charana Dhori, Chaya Vigotami, Chaya Dosha Shoti, Chaya Guna Deho Dase, Chaya Sata Sangha Deho He Amari, Koshe Chi Sangero Yashi, Ekatiyama Nahi Paiva, Paridamo Sankirtane, Tumi Kripa Kori Shraddha Bindu Diya, Deho Krishna Namadhane, Krishna se tomar Krishna dite par, tomar Vaishnava Thakur, Jai Vaishnava Thakur. Prabhu Kripa Koro, More Doya Koro. Kripa Koro, More Doya Koro. All Vaishnava Thakurs ki Jai. And now we will call for the mercy of our six Goswamis and Nitai and Gauranga. Jai Shri Shri Radha Gopinaju Sachinandana Gaur Hari Ki Joy. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Kuramore. Page 96 in our Sri Gaudiya Giti Gucha by Sri Narottam Das Thakur. 96. If you do not have Sri Gaudiya Giti Gucha or the Gaudiya Kirtan app, then Savitri Chaprala is posting the bhajans within the comment section of the thread, so you can just go right there if you're on Facebook, and she's posting the bhajans there. Arjun Krishna Prabhu ki jai. Sudevi Dasi Bourbon ki jai. Okay, 96. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koro Jagat sansare patita pavana hetu tava avataro mosamapa tita prabhu na paive aro aha prabhu Koro samsari. Sachinandan jai Gaura Hari. Sachinandan jai Gaura Hari. Jai Sachinandan jai Gaura Hari. Sachinandan jai Gaura Nitai he Gaura he Nitai he Gaura he Nitai he Jai Rupa Raghunath Jai Rupa Raghunath Rupa Raghunath Jai Rupa Raghunath Prabhu he Prabhu he Prabhu he Prabhu he तिजपावन श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम श्री सचिनंदन गौर हरि की जय। श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। श्री रूप रघुनाथ जू की जय। श्री सद्गुरु स्वामी प्रभु की जय। गौर भक्त वृंद की। Now we will call out for the mercy of Radha and Krishna, followed by Radha and Krishna in the form of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Braja Janmana Sukhakari Radhe Shyam Shyama Shyam by Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Page 366 in our Sri Gaudiya Gita Gucha. Radhe Radhe, Geeta Dasi, Kamalavati and Ambika, Om Joshi, and all the rest of you. Hare Krishna. Radhe Braja Janaman Sukhakari, Radhe Shyam Shyama Shyam, Radhe Braja Janaman Sukhakari, Radhe Shyam Shyama Shyam, Radhe Shyam Shyama Shyam, Radhe Hari Bol. Radhe Braja Janaman Sukhakari, Radhe Shyam Shyama Shyam. Mukara Kundala Galavajanti Mala Mukara Charanan Purarasal, Radhe Shyam Shyama Shyam, Charanan Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam. Radhe Braja Janaman Sukhakari, Radhe Shyam Shyama Shyam. Sundaravadana Kamal Dalalochana Panki Chittavanahari. Sundaravadana Mohanavamshi Vihari, Radhe Shyama Shyama Shyam, Radhe Mohanavamshi चरावे गोपी जन मनहारी वृंदावन श्री गोवर्धन धारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम राधे श्री गोवर्धन Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupananda Gauriya Guruvarga ki jai, Pavana Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai, Radha Gopinaju ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrind ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari. Hare Krishna. Radhe Radhe Devaki Priya and Punya and Renata Gomez and all the rest of you. Ashu Singh. Hare Krishna. So, before I chant my mantras, I have something to share which I don't want to forget. As I was chanting Jai Gurudev, I remembered Gurudev and some things that he told me, and it was at her parents' house in San Diego. So, the memory is fresh right now, so I'll share that first. One time we were there in front of Srila Gurudev, and we were singing one bhajan, Sarvasva Tomar Charane Sampiya Porechi Tomar Ghare. That is a bhajan. That is a bhajan by Srila Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And there he is praying to have the loyalty of a dog for Guru or for Krishna. So there he's saying that you are my master. Kindly keep me as your dog. Keep me at your door. While sleeping, I will be remembering you. I will only take the remnants of your foodstuffs. When I see you, I'll be so happy and I'll begin dancing with joy. If anyone is favorable to you, I will happily welcome them. Anyone who is against you, I will bark very loudly and scare them far away. In all my thoughts and all of my actions, I will only do what is pleasing to you. So much we can learn from a dog.
Harmonium, I think they practice.
Oh, I thought it was either a harmonium or a sander. Either way, it's got a solid tone. So, we sang this in front of Srila Gurudev. And generally you see it's in the section of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's bhajans, Sharanagati. And most people, oh, he's singing this for Krishna. But Srila Gurudev said these Sharanagat bhajans, these moods of Sharanagati, we can also sing these for Gurudev. And actually, this mood we must first apply at the lotus feet of Gurudev. And then for Krishna it will come easily. So he also named 3 other bhajans as examples. Atma Nivedan Duvapade Kori, Manasa Deho Geho Jo Kichomor, and Shri Rupa Manjari Pada Semor Sampada. He said we can also sing these moods, this kind of Sharanagat, surrendering mood bhajan for Gurudev. And I just remember at that time it was such an eye-opener, because you're thinking, oh yes, I'm singing this for Krishna, but actually the first form of Krishna in our lives is Shri Guru. Yes? Oh, I forgot to do this. Can everyone hear me okay out there? Sound quality is low today, not as clear as yesterday. Sorry about that. I had some difficulty at the bank and I got here late and I wasn't able to charge everything, so I'm charging the phone. If you can tolerate it for a little while, maybe there will be enough power. I can't see. Another thing, Srila Gurudev told there, I asked him a question. I said, you're telling us that we should go everywhere, we should chant Hare Krishna, we should tell people about Krishna. But my heart, my mind is full of so many anarthas, so many material desires. I'm plagued by kam, krodha, lobha, madam, matsarya, moha, lust, anger, illusion, madness, envy, pride, and all kinds of things. What benefit will others get by hearing my chanting of the names of Krishna and my glorification of Krishna? And Gurudev snapped in at that moment. He said, oh, some Shakti will be there because you are under guidance. And I was thinking, I'm not qualified, because I'm not. But if Gurudev gives an order, he can manage to do something via any medium. I remember once there was one devotee who had fallen down. They had fallen down, and Gurudev wanted them to speak on Rai Ramananda Samvad. And they were more absorbed in how their muscles looked at that time and how tight their t-shirt was and how their new Ray-Ban sunglasses were. And they started speaking, and Gurudev stopped them. He said, "What is the primary duty of a disciple?" And they said, "To always follow the order of Gurudev." And he said, "But you are not following. So what benefit will anyone get by hearing what you have to speak?" And then he said, "It will be zero." He made a big zero. He said, "Zero." And then he said, "Speak." And I was like, I'm sitting here in front of Gurudev. He just said we'll get zero, but he's ordering him to speak. Should I listen or should I not? But Gurudev was utilizing him as an instrument at that time to speak something. And this brings me back to one of the very first instructions Gurudev gave me. In 1996, in Sri Keshavji Gaudiya Math, he told me, "You should always sit right in front of me." Hence, with any, so he was making the piano motion, "So that I can use you for kirtan whenever I like." So that I can use you for kirtan whenever I like. That changes the perspective, doesn't it? I have to become an instrument for my Gurudev, that he can place me as he likes, as a chess player can place a piece. He can say, "Yes, this way, no, this way. Now jump, now stop, sit down, go over there, do this. Go to Los Angeles, no, don't, no, go, stop." He did this to us. And we have to be ready to accept that I am the instrument of my Gurudev, and as he wants to utilize me, I should come to that point where I am allowing myself to be utilized by him as he likes. This is really where we should come to as disciples. I'm not saying that I'm there, but we should come to that point of really being fully willing to be utilized by Gurudev as his instrument, as he likes. Yes?
They say also we shouldn't preach to unfaithful people. So how to reconcile that?
We are also warned against speaking to those who are faithless. In fact, Krishna also gives a severe warning in Bhagavad Gita that there will be negative consequences if you speak this divine knowledge to those who are not faithful. So how do we reconcile this? We've been ordered to do something, to go out in the streets and chant the names of Krishna. Wherever you go, whomever you meet, tell them about Krishna. How do we reconcile it? It depends on where the consciousness of the preacher is also. The Uttam Bhagavat sees that everyone is serving Krishna, because everything is made by Krishna. Everything in essence is created by Krishna, and really it is all ultimately for his own purpose. Even this material world is his Shrishti Lila, his creation Lila, and his Kripa Lila, his pastime of giving mercy. And then inside the heart of every jiva, not only those within human forms, those within animal forms, aquatic forms, tree forms, insect forms, fish forms, whatever, all forms, there is a jiva. And what is the intrinsic nature of every single jiva in all creation? I'll give you a hint. Jivera Swarupa Hoy. Very good. Krishner Nitya Das. All jivas are the eternal servants of Krishna. So faithlessness is actually a covering of illusion which has no true bearing on the eternal soul. That is why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has ordered that wherever you go, whomever you meet, tell them about Krishna. We don't know if someone's antagonistic until we try. And the moment you say the name of Krishna, something begins to awaken anyhow, because Krishna and his name are not different. So this is a special kind of mercy. Nityananda Prabhu also exemplified this. He didn't discriminate. Whoever it was, he would go and embrace them and beg them to chant the name of Gauranga or chant the name of Krishna. Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Goro Krishna Shiksha. Because it is the, I'm going to use this term again, existence right of every jiva to love and serve Krishna. It is our nature. Since we have existed, how long have we existed? Forever. What we are experiencing currently in the material body with material coverings and material intelligence, material mind, material ego, means the subtle bodies and the gross bodies. Actually, this is considered Maya, illusion, or temporary. But the eternal true nature of the soul, that can never be removed. That is essentially the real us. And everything else is super temporary and fleeting. One after the next, after the next. Do any of us care what happened to us in our fish bodies? Does anyone care that the rest of our family was caught in a net and eaten? Do we care? It doesn't matter. It was another life a long time ago, and we did it many, many times, and it has zero consequence. Well, maybe it does have consequence on us now, but that's why we don't like getting caught or trapped. But anyhow, we have no attachment to that. We don't cry over that. Because it's not us. Us, the real us, is an eternal servant of Krishna. So reconciling this point of not preaching to the faithless, yes. If someone actually expresses antagonism, hate, violence, or aggression against you because you are endeavoring to speak to them about Krishna, then we must utilize the function of neglect or upeksha. Those who are against bhakti, against Vaishnavas, against Krishna, against Thakurji, against chanting the name of Krishna, then neglect. But it doesn't mean that we don't still go out and do Harinam Sankirtan. Because why? Like Haridas Thakur told Mahaprabhu when he asked him, should one chant softly or loudly? Haridas Thakur said, if we chant softly, then only we get the benefit. But if we chant loudly, then not only do we get the benefit, but every other living thing in creation gets the benefit. Our Gurudev said, like a pebble in a pond. If you throw that pebble in a pond, the waves will go from that one point to every part of the edge of that pond. He said, but Harinam, the waves of Harinam are not bound to any small material pond. It goes in all directions and will continue even outside of this material universe all the way to the lotus feet of Krishna. And anyone who's in the vicinity of that vibration, even if they're not in the vicinity, sound vibration continues. Srila Gurudev told this. Sound vibration continues. Even if you're far, far away and you can't actually hear the sound, still that vibration will touch you. And he made the point that if anyone is doing any simple activity and something is dying at that moment, that vibration will touch them and they will gain benefit from it. So how powerful is it if there are thousands of groups of devotees doing loud Harinam Sankirtan in any location, how that will affect anyone? I remember when Saddam Hussein was hung, Srila Gurudev said, oh, that day was Ekadashi, and it was early morning. He must not have eaten or drunk anything. So because he fasted on Ekadashi and he left on that day, he gained so much mercy, so much blessing. Yes?
Quick story, this guy came into the LA temple, and he says, he's just sitting there, coming to class every day, and finally we're like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm the guy who caught Saddam Hussein in his hole in the ground. And we were like, really? He's like, yeah, I went AWOL. He just left because he was having a spiritual meltdown. And we just thought he was nuts off the beach. And sure enough, we saw like later on it really was a blessing. They were just looking for guidance, and he found us.
I'm going to plug this mic in so the devotees can hear okay. This is not the most professional situation, but anyhow. Okay. And Gurudev told us other stuff at your house too, but I can't repeat it. Actually, this is interesting. Srila Gurudev had just been informed that there were some persons who were creating some difficulty, making some kind of plots. And he was in quite a mood. And he told it publicly, and then he told something also privately. He was quite concerned. And he told that there are some who are waiting for me to die so that they can become acharya. And he told it again publicly. That kind of mood or idea, Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj called it, what is that word? There's a Sanskrit term, Guru Mara Vidya. I will take everything from my Guru, all of the knowledge, the information, the moods, the bhavs, then I will usurp his position and finish him. So Gurudev told this before. There are those who are waiting for me to die so that they can become acharya. But for any disciple, their mood should and would, if they are a disciple, always be that I am a lowly servant of my Guru. When the Mayavad sannyasis, Prakashananda Saraswati and others, questioned Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why are you just chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna? That's for the sentimentalists. You are a sannyasi. You should be studying Vedanta Sutra, Brahma Sutra, using your energy for this. Why are you chanting Hare Krishna? Mahaprabhu replied, now, even as Nimai Pandit, he was so brilliant that he defeated the most brilliant minds in all of India. Those who were directly given blessings of Saraswati, Keshav Bharati, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. But yet, what is he telling Prakashananda Saraswati Pad? Mahaprabhu told him, my Gurudev saw me as a fool, that I don't have this kind of qualification. So he told me that better I should just concentrate on chanting the holy names of the Lord. So he is exemplifying this mood of Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sahishnuna, Amanina, Amanadena, Kirtaniya Sadahari. In a humble state of mind, being very tolerant, always chanting the holy names of the Lord. Giving all respect to others and expecting none for himself. In fact, where was he? He wasn't sitting with all of the sannyasis, he was sitting near where the shoes were. But they saw him glowing so brilliant, so beautiful, that their minds were distracted. This is a special power of Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the Brahmavadis, Brahmagyanis. This includes Shukadev Goswami, who was acting in that role. He heard the glories of Krishna and he was changed. He became a first-class bhakta. The four Kumaras also were Brahmagyanis. They went to Vaikuntha. But just upon smelling the tulsi leaves, which were offered to the feet of the Lord, their minds were completely changed. And Prakashananda Saraswati Pad and all of his disciples, 100,000 Pakkamayavad sannyasis, they were so attracted by the beauty of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that they gave up their Mayavad temperament and became bhaktas. So I just wanted to share in relation to what I last said, that the mood of a disciple always feels himself to be in the subservient position. Srila Gurudev told that in this world, although the goal is Vishrambena Gurur Seva, still there is always Maryada. Maryada means a proper place of respect. There is Sadachar. I'll give the example that he gave about Radha and Krishna. Krishna is begging for the dust of the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. He's always making arrangements to somehow touch her feet. He even draws on her feet and writes his name backwards in red alta. He's decorating her feet. And then at some point in time, he gets the opportunity and places his head on her feet. I don't know if he's writing it backwards, but whatever. He has the stamp on his head. So, Srila Gurudev told, because they did a drama in Badger, that Krishna is always begging for the dust of the feet of Srimati Radhika. In the drama, he says, please be merciful to me. Place your lotus feet upon my head, and this will remove that burning fire within my heart. So he places his head at her feet, and she places her feet on his head. Right after the drama, Srila Gurudev said, this can and will never happen. Krishna may want it, but Vrishabhanu Nandini Srimati Radhika will never knowingly and willingly place her feet on his head. Later on in the darshan or the morning walk, Srila Gurudev said, actually, this is like aparad. She always sees herself as a servant of Krishna. And all of the acting that she does is to increase his transcendental pleasure. So one time, we were giving Srila Gurudev a massage in Singapore. And in the middle of the massage, he sat up and he said, there, it's not like here. Here, the guru-disciple relationship is always fixed. There is a strong maryada and sadachar. Guru is always in the superior position and the disciple is always in the inferior position. They're always in that role. He said, but in that realm, it depends upon the mood of the necessity for seva. He said, sometimes, according to the necessity of seva, although Sri Rupa is the leader, she will tell Rati, you should do this. Or sometimes Rati will tell Rupa, you should do this. He said, the hierarchy is not so fixed. It's there, but it's more loose, more friendly, more like sisters. Here, the guru-disciple relationship is fixed. And so the disciple should always be in that mood of being subservient to Guru. And we have seen in so many examples, it seems that some disciples seem to be more prominent than even their Guru. Srila Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj was not prominently known. He was known as being quite eccentric, living in a latrine, sometimes wearing very fancy clothing, sometimes running and eating mud from the Yamuna or the Ganga or Radhakund, quite wild, weeping and crying. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada was known as that personality who made an institution with 64 mutts and thousands of brilliant devotees, and it went all over the world. And so from the external, it seems like the disciple has done so much more. But have we ever seen Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada place himself anywhere near or above his Guru? He always felt himself as the most lowly servant of his Guru. Not only that, he saw all of his own disciples as the mercy of his Gurudev. And so he would also offer his pranam to his own disciples. Dasosmi, Dasosmi, I am your servant. This kind of mood, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada manifested. So the idea that I will usurp the position of my Guru, that I will become more than my Guru, that I will take everything from my Guru and dismiss my Guru, this mood in itself is actually not a Vaishnava mood. This mood is exactly the opposite of that. It is quite demonic, actually. Speaking of which, Srila Gurudev told, because some people were saying, oh, they poisoned Prabhupada and this and that. He came out of Kantipunja's room and he said, it is true, they did. He said, but actually, no one can poison the pure devotee. Hiranyakashipu also tried to poison Prahlad. How much? With enough poison to kill 10,000 full-grown men. But nothing could affect him because he's a pure devotee. What to speak of the Rupanuga Vaishnavas who are eternal associates of Radha and Krishna? There is nothing that anyone can do to them. But if Krishna wills, Gurudev told this, if Krishna wills or Krishna desires, then they will come to him at that time. Nothing can happen in their life without the direction of Krishna. He said, but those who have tried to do such a thing, he said, for them there is no hell suitable. Yamaraj will have to create new hells for them. Understand? For those who have that intention. So, the pure devotee is completely under the control of Krishna. And they know that. Rakshishyatiti vishvaso guptritvevaranam tata. Krishna is my only protector. He's my only maintainer. They don't have any need for anything else. They're completely surrendered to Krishna. But for those who want to do these things, then Yamaraj will have to create new hells. Anyway, Gurudev told us this at your place, and I was just remembering certain things that Srila Gurudev told, so I wanted to share it before I lost those things. If I don't speak my memories of Gurudev, they can go. We've tried to write down as many as we can, and every once in a while another one will pop up and I'll write it down quickly. But how many devotees have had amazing interactions with Gurudev and then they forgot? And like Vrinda, Didi and Brajanath Prabhu, they wrote everything down in notebooks for years and years and years. And they kept them in trunks, and it was in the basement. And Jamuna Devi flooded and took all their memories, not all, but so many memories with her. Yours also. So Srila Gurudev would always tell us that we should take those things into our hearts. The first time I met him, there was a request. I asked Sudevi, what do you want from India? 1996, before he came to America, before he came to the West. She only asked for one thing, a picture of Narayan Maharaj. So I said, can I take your photo? And he's like, why do you want to capture me in your black box? I'm like, can I just take a picture? He's like, okay. So I took the picture, and then I came to him in 1996, Keshevji Gaudiya Math, and that time, devotees were hiding their tape recorders because he was a little bit infamous for taking the tape recorders and sometimes throwing them at the wall or the floor. You should try to capture what I'm speaking here. If you lose this, then what? You won't remember anything. So Gurudev didn't want that. Even if devotees would start taking notes while he was speaking, he would stop speaking and wait till they lifted their heads up and looked at him again. Because that moment you're looking down and writing, you cannot concentrate properly. And Srila Gurudev used to tell the devotees when he would speak, stop doing everything else. They were making garlands and sewing and doing, stop everything else. Give me all of your senses. What I have to give you is so important. Don't lose this opportunity, he would say. Give me all of your senses. As we're talking about giving all of the senses. Hare Krishna. So he wanted us to be present. He wanted us to receive what he was giving. And not to just take it here, but to bring it into our heart and then to apply it. It was so essential for us. So now we've got a few minutes. Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarbhaktaya Namo Nama Ajnanati Miradasya Gyanjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Nama Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayaniti Namine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Vancha kalpaturubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayate giring Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurung Ninatarinam. So we're continuing with Going Beyond Vaikuntha. Yesterday we were speaking about going beyond Vaikuntha, and I told about how so many went from Braj to Dwarka to Vaikuntha, but Gurudev is bringing us back from there toward Braj. This is the speciality of our Srila Gurudev. He was so focused on bringing us to Braj that he didn't want us to even remember anything or think about anything which was not related directly to our goal. And that could also be part of the manifestation of his internal meditation. It's fully absorbed in Radha Krishna in Vrindavan. And so his preaching was like that. He told so many times that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, in his very last days, made a complaint that I wanted to give so many things, but I was forced the entire time to cut so many jungles of Mayavad, of atheism, of so many things. But I wanted to give this Rupanuga Bhajan and this Braja Prem. And he said also, our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, our Srila Prabhupada, he had to spend so much time cutting jungles. The jungles of Nirvishesh, the jungles of Shunyavad. Nirvishesh means Mayavad. And Shunyavad is Buddhism, traditional Buddhism. Nirvishesh or Mayavad means without variety, Nirvishesh, or oneness. And Shunyavad means devoidness. Right? Mahaprabhu says that in separation from Govinda, I feel that one moment feels like millions of yugas, and the entire universe, Shunyaitam Jagat Sarvam. The entire universe, Sarvam Jagat, is Shunyaitam, empty. So Shunyavad means to cease to exist. This is the goal. And Nirvishesh means to be one, or to cease to exist within the oneness. So much energy was expended in fighting all of these things. But really all of our Rupanuga Acharyas wanted to bring us to this point of understanding what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to give. Just like Rupa Goswami did. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give what? Raga Marga Bhakti Loke Gorite Pracharan. Preaching to the whole world the path of pure Raga Marga Bhakti. Spontaneous loving affection to Krishna of Vrindavan. Aradhyo Bhagavam Brajeshatanayas Tadham Vrindavana. That topmost aspect of Bhagavan, that is Krishna in Vrindavan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give spontaneous loving affection for that Krishna. And through the medium of Srila Rupa Goswami and all of our Rupanuga Guru Varga, they have all come to give that same thing. So our Gurudev said for many years that I thought I could not have to do all that jungle cutting and I can give these things, but I've seen over time that now I have to also spend so much time cutting jungles. So now we're continuing with chapter 2 of this beautiful book, Going Beyond Vaikuntha, which is a compilation of the Harikatha, the lectures of our Srila Gurudev, based on the teachings of Sri Sanatana Goswami found in Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita. So before entering into this beautiful treasure, we will first pray in the dust of the lotus feet of our Srila Gurudev and Sri Sanatana Goswami Pad, that may even a particle of their moods which are present within these pages manifest itself within our hearts. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Sri Sanatana Goswami Pad ki jai. So we're continuing with chapter 2, Gop Kumar's remarkable journey. So Srila Gurudev was telling the last time about a good disciple or a good sadhaka versus a not good disciple or not good sadhaka. He said, whatever the Guru tells us is the supreme truth of the Vedas, and we should always keep it with us. Those sadhakas or disciples that think that, oh, I'll figure it out on my own, I'll make my new path, and I'll attain perfection on my own. As our Srila Prabhupada said, they will be sure to be baffled in their endeavor, just like a ship without a rudder. You know, a rudder keeps a ship going straight. You remove the rudder and it just goes wherever the wind and waves blow it or take it. So, Srila Gurudev said, if someone is trying to understand everything step by step on their own, trying to figure out everything on their own, it may take millions and millions of lives, or they may never figure it out. But I was discussing with Shashikala Didi last night. Our Mahajans have cleared that path. They've removed all of the thorns, all of the obstacles. They have walked that path many times and carried so many others along that path. So it is very clean and clear and easy and direct. If anyone understands some basic mathematics, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. If you want, you can go to Delhi by going to Singapore, and then to Los Angeles, then to London, then to Dubai, and then back to Delhi, or you could just go to Delhi. So if we try on our own, we might take a very, very long, unnecessary journey. But if we follow the path of the Mahajans, Mahajano Yenakata Sapanta, then very quickly and easily our perfection will be realized. So Srila Gurudev was speaking about those who want to figure it all out by themselves, but one will not progress in this way. For instance, there may be some worldly man who doesn't practice any sadhana. We will say to him, my friend, performing bhajan of Bhagavan is the most beneficial thing for you. Leave everything else behind and simply engage in bhajan. Preaching to the faithless, but we don't know if they're faithless yet. Leave everything else behind and simply engage in bhajan. So the man may think, but what about the love of my parents? And I have not yet married. I want to have a little experience of family life. If he has sufficient merit, sukriti, from previous lifetimes, then he might leave his home. But for those who don't have this previous merit, it will be very difficult. Therefore, we can understand that those who have left their families to engage in bhajan with great determination have sukriti from previous births. There is no necessity for them to become involved in family life. So Srila Gurudev is saying that this is actually the result of so much sukriti from previous lifetimes that bondage of attachment is not so great. We have seen this in the life of, or heard about this in the life of Raghunath Das Goswami. His parents loved him. His family loved him. He was the only heir to their massive fortune, which is equivalent to trillions of dollars in our current day. And they were wealthy, wealthy landowners. Not only that, but they also arranged for him to marry more than Miss Universe. So Srila Gurudev tells how beautiful she was, how sweet and charming and attractive, but yet he had no attraction for the money, no attachment to the family life, no attraction or attachment to his wife. He only had attraction and attachment to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So one could understand by the example that Srila Gurudev was just giving, that Raghunath Das Goswami's sukriti was so high that there was no attraction to anything in this material world whatsoever. I just heard Srila Gurudev telling that. Someone asked him, what are the qualities of Guru? And he started speaking the definition of the verse, Tasmad Gurum Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam. In the verse it doesn't say, for whom the material world holds no charm whatsoever. But Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada placed that in there because that is automatically understood that this is the quality of Guru. There is nothing of this material world that charms them. And Srila Gurudev was telling that, they will have no attraction or attachment to anything in this material world. So this is how you will know. This is one main quality of Guru. The main prominent quality is that they are completely surrendered to Krishna. Brahmanyupasamashrayam. And everything else comes as an automatic natural result of that. If you have only eaten stool, and then I promise you that 3 times a day I will give you the most wonderful Mahaprasad. In the morning, you will have a beautiful breakfast, whatever you like. Oh, for lunch today we're having lasagna. And for dinner, oh, we have so many wonderful preparations. What would you like? 3 times a day, you won't need to eat stool anymore. What will you do? Will you eat stool or will you go for that? So this is called a higher taste. And if we receive the higher taste, those who have received the higher taste, they have no attraction to anything in this material world, which for them is like stool. So for those who do not have sufficient merit, it will be very difficult for them to give up their material attachments. Attachment for or attraction for kanaka, for accumulating money, for spending it, for growing it, for kamini, sense gratification in all of its different forms, and for pratishta, which is considered to be a very subtle but more powerful form of sense gratification. Pratishta means name, fame, position, control, power. I was quite young. I was on the airplane and listening to some radio broadcast, but was on the airplane. And it was a news broadcast. This was just after Ferdinand and Imelda Marcos were removed from their position as the leaders of Philippines. But they were quoting her. She said the reason that women in the West are so obsessed with sex is because they have not tasted power. And when I heard that, I was like, oh my God. Prabhupada always referred to it as subtle sex life. But when I heard that, I thought, oh my God, that thing is so attractive that one will even give up the other thing for that. The desire to control, to lord it over others. It is such a great and dangerous addiction. And so many that don't have it and don't know about it might not realize it, but if that was given to us, what might happen? You can see it at the airport here in India. If someone's given a little power, they can use it to the... They'll make you cry if they can. You're half a kilo over! Sorry. Power. It's a very, very terrible addiction. And this will be offered to everyone. All of the power, all of the wealth, siddhis, everything will be offered. Will we be able to? Let it go and continue with our mind, our eyes on the goal. Because we will be tested for everything. Do you want this? Do you want it? Here, have some money. Here, have some sense gratification. Here, have your dream home. Have position, have power. What would you do with it? Would you become bound by it? Will you become attracted by it? Even by chanting Nam Aparad, these desires will be fulfilled. Nam Aparad will bring the result of increased desire for Kanaka, Kamini, and Pratishta, and the fulfillment of it. Can we forego that? Only if we're holding tightly to the lotus feet of Guru and Vaishnavas. By their mercy, by their very strong chastisement, and by accumulated sukriti, spiritual merit, will we be able to let go of those things. Otherwise, even at the age of 80 years old, even being a prominent guru in a prominent institution, being a very senior devotee, you can leave all of that and run off with any of your female disciples or male disciples or what have you, which we have seen in the not too distant past. These things can happen. It is not a very easy thing to give up attachment or attraction or desire to Kanaka, Kamini, and Pratishta. But Raghunath Das Goswami, he tells us how we should view all of these things. The desire for Pratishta. Oh. What did he compare it to? Hot urine of a donkey. Pratishta asha svapacha ramani me hridinatet. The desire, asha, for Pratishta, name, fame, position, power, control, all of these things, is like the words he uses, a dog-eating outcast prostitute. That's about as worse as you could tell in those days. A dog-eating outcast prostitute who is shamelessly running from one to the next, willing to give whatever for a little bit of name, fame, and position. To accumulate. Like this. This is how Raghunath Das Goswami says it. Right in the very first verse of Manashiksha, he says, Sada dambam hitva. Give up your dambam. Means this desire for name and praise and pratishta. This foolishness. Give up your mundane pride and serve Radha and Krishna. So therefore we can understand that those who have left their families to engage in bhajan with great determination have sukriti from their previous births. There is no necessity for them to become involved in family life. Great devotees like Shukdev Goswami, Narada Muni, they had this previous merit. Generally, by observing someone's activities, we can discern whether they have this sukriti or not. So who can discern it? Sri Guru can discern. And Sri Guru will adjust accordingly. Do you know, before he told Sudevi and I to travel and preach, for 4 years, he said, you don't want to have any children? No. He said, The next year he asked the same question. The next year, the same question. The following year, really, you don't want? I said, no. He said, how is your wife? I said, more than me, she doesn't want it. He said, call her here immediately. She came running down to Gurudev's room. Then he gave us a life plan and an instruction and a teaching and a curse. The curse was, after he told us everything he wanted us to do, he said, if any child does come, then like Chitraketu Maharaj. Srila Gurudeva ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Radha Gopinath ki jai, Harinam Sankirtana ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Yeah. The curse was a blessing. For those of you who don't know the history of Chitraketu Maharaj, he had 10 million queens, he couldn't have a son. Finally he had a son, the kid was 5 years old, the other queens became jealous and poisoned it, so it died. And he was the most happy person up until 5 years, and then he became the most miserable person. So it was the cause of his greatest happiness and also his greatest misery. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Bolo Nitai Gaurang Jai, Nitai Gaurango. Bolo Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango. O Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango. Jai Sachinandana, Jai Gaurahari. Jai Sachinandana, Jai Gaurahari. Nadiya Bihari, Jai Gaurahari. Jai Sachinandana, Jai Gaurahari.